I saw Sadik Adams make that statement. I vehemently disagree. If you are not playing good football, you cannot win. You remember Otto said he can only promise Ghanaians good football. Yes. I don't know whether he said good football or beautiful football, but I think he said good football. And then Sadik Adams made reference to that.
On this page, how can you play beautiful football?
Right.
You can't even complete 5 passes. Play your one-zam football. Whap, float
but the fact is that your opponents
they
played better.
When our opponents get the ball, with respect to their transition, it makes sense. You can see what they are doing, the pattern.
How are they playing? Once they get the ball, they are floating into the number 9.
It wasn't just floating. They played inside
there. They played better football.
They didn't play better football.
What do you call good football?
But there's this idea that we don't need to play good football to win or to progress, which I vehemently disagree. I saw Sadik Adams make that statement. I totally disagree, because anytime you don't play good football, you are losing. Because if you look at how our first half turned out, it was because we weren't playing good football. When you play good football, it's easier to win. I don't know if you get the point.
I
don't know
point.
what your
okay,
point
so
is
I in a way I agree with I agree with Sadick. I agree with Sadick.
Your point.
Look, Eben spoke about the pitch, which we'll talk about later. On this pitch, how can you play beautiful football?
Right.
You can't even complete 5 passes. So I also borrow some words from Zapata. You play your one-zam football. Whap, float
but the fact is that your opponents played better.
What they were doing was they were just talking about.
They played better.
You see his point.
Yes.
When our opponents get the ball, with respect to their transition, it makes sense. You can see what they are doing, the pattern. When we get ball, you can't actually understand what we're trying to do.
The reason, listen, how many passes do they get? When they just get the ball, they are floating.
No, but their passes,
they give like 5, but they were because listen.
Those limited passes are okay. Even when we try to make those limited passes into pockets,
we can't do it. We can't do it.
The point is that. How are they playing? Once they get the ball, they are floating into the number 9.
It wasn't just floating. They played inside there.
They played better football.
They didn't play better football than Black Stars.
In the first half, they played better football than Ghana.
I will not agree with you.
Well, that's fine, but
their tactics were on point.
And this is even our home pitch. Those guys have been training on the pitch before the game.
Prince, you see that pitch? That pitch. I'm telling you, you can play. Look, we have the quality to play it. Eben mentioned the other time. Currently in Africa, maybe aside Nigeria, Ghana, we have the superstars. We can play that ball. Look at Partey. Partey will get ball and he'll give some pass. Like the last ball Lamptey had. Lamptey was trying to do something. But the pack was so bad that he slipped. And he just kicked it anyhow. Yeah. So with such conditions, and I agree with Partey, we need, you see, Ghana, we are a footballing nation. And so now, we don't even have quality pitch. Look at the AFCON. Do you know why AFCON they play beautiful football? It was the pitches Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
Charlie, the pitches were top class. That was why they were able to give those passes. If you remember the World Cup in Qatar, Black Stars there was a point where also doing the passing.
Yeah,
but why we can't do it? So at this stage in African football like this, do whatever it will take to qualify to the World Cup. When you get to the World Cup, there are quality pitches there. You can play your beautiful football. And especially, now that a team like Ghana, we are still in the rebuild phase. We are still doing a lot of experimentation. Like yesterday, they brought on Brandon Asante. Most of us, that was our first time of seeing him play.
But it's the same point, or is the same reason why when we came back into the game, we were able to score goals.
Exactly.
When they came back, they were playing good football. Or you didn't see the ball they were playing.
When they came back,
good football.
But you know they
were playing. Their passes were going through.
Because
that's how come we were able to.
If you want the build up for Fatawu, for example, it was very good.
And that was the reason why the positioning also affected the team. I don't know. In the first, the tactics, we didn't get the tactics right in the first half. That's why why in the second half,
playing good football. No, but if your coach doesn't get the right tactics, your passes are not going through. You are not playing good football.
Just look, he just did one change, and that was what changed everything. That's
what I'm saying.
That was the fatal then come out.
If you don't play good football, your chances of winning games is zero.
But still, I still go.
You don't just play ball anyhow and expect to win.
If you could, sorry to cut you myself, if you could remember Chelsea with Jose Mourinho,
yes,
they never played good football.
Exactly.
It's the katikpa. Then they'll win you the league. It was Pep and Co that came to change That
mentality, yes.
You see, it's very good to play good football.
Get the results.
Our Ghana team.
So wait, what do you call good football?
That's the point.
What do you call good football? I want to know what
is your definition?
Holding the ball, like
holding the ball.
Yeah, holding the ball and like making it easy for you.
So good
are you aware?
football,
If not that recent new dynasty in Barcelona around Pep's time, football wasn't mainly like that. Football was a traditional game. You have wingers who are going to play in the game. You have fullbacks who can attack and defend, and you have midfielders who can take long shots. It wasn't mainly about holding the ball.
If you ask me about
good football is different from beautiful football.
Exactly.
You should know how to
different. So you mean a purpose? Like let's say we are going with this.
We held the ball more than them, but what he's saying is that
they knew what they were doing.
They knew what they were doing,
because
and everything was working.
Counter, how difficult is counter is very easy.
But
even when they get a counter,
that is what brings
the way
the
they
result.
played, the way they played was
very
good.
easy to play.
Every team and its strategy.
But if your strategy is not giving you the good football, that will give you result. And we all sat here and we alluded that they would have equalized if there was no time.
Prince, at this stage.
No, I didn't ask Fab. I told Fab that even if we give them 39 minutes,
you weren't watching. Obi, you weren't watching.
Prince, I'm very
when they were 4-2 down and they came and they equalized and they were still pressing.
It was just normal. It's normal. What is normal? It was a freaking.
But what do you know? It was psychology. Do you know it's psychology?
No, but we're now creating more of the chance. We're now half. At that point, we're now half.
We're defending. I don't agree with you. They had a chance of equalizing. But what I'm saying is,
they didn't.
Are we playing? I mean, I always believe that.
Which match did you watch?
I watched the blast time. What I want to tell you is that football is played in 90 minutes. If you are not able to do anything, don't come and tell me like they added this minute. That's why the referee added 6 minutes. So if you are good, provide your results there.
No,
I don't know if you understand.
The analysis, no.
Football is played in 90 minutes. If you are not able to do anything, the additional time added.
What they are saying is true. However, we are telling you the what ifs. So that we can correct our mistakes.
But for now,
you get it. It's a what if so that we correct the mistake. My point is that if you come to talk about good football, there's no standard.
So do you agree with Prince or not? Because to me, I don't agree with Prince. Me, get the results.
I agree with
when we go to the World Cup, play your beautiful football.
Madrid will never play.
It's not about holding the ball per se. But then our misplacing passes, they try to make dribbles. They can't make dribbles.
Why
shots are off target.
Do you know that the counter attacks you are talking about is good football?
It's good football
because he loves his players.
No,
and that is why I'm saying that is what leads to.
Ghana, we didn't play.
First half, our football was very bad.
That's what leads to the result, and that's why they were on that. They equalized our goal and they came back and scored. That is what I'm talking about.
I understand.
You get it? It's not just about holding the ball, passing the ball, and going. No, that's not.
So you mean it?
If you mean beautiful football, that's different from good football. Good football is having an aim, having a mission.
So you mean okay? So
and that's what will lead you to win games.
Hamdan, let me get you now. We have good football and beautiful football.
Those
That's
are
what
two
you're trying
different
to.
things.
So beautiful football is the tiki taka.
The pep style.
And good football is having a purpose.
Having a purpose, playing a good game and winning.
So you're trying to tell me that we didn't really have a purpose.
The first half we didn't.
Do you understand what we did?
We had. We wanted the first half with the tactics that we kept in there. Though the tactics was wrong, but we wanted to float in crosses. That's why we kept.
No. What tactics?
Haven't forgotten.
What tactics?
The tactics was to float in
crosses.
So were they playing it good?
They weren't, and that's why we changed.
That's why it's not play good football.
But when they switched the wings, you saw that something
so
different.
that is later. That's what he's saying.
So now, then I'm now getting you well.
That's the point.
So you're not. So well, maybe because you said good football, I was expecting maybe beautiful football. Let's hold it. Let's take it.
That's what.
No, that's the only thing this gentleman would want. However, that's not what we're talking about.
Good football. We should go with a purpose.
Exactly.
This is what we want.
And make sure. Like we can
understand.
Beautiful football.
You can't say Madrid doesn't play good football.
Madrid doesn't play good football. We all know.
How can you say this?
One counter attack.
How can you say this?
You
don't play 38 games in the league season and just play on luck and
the whole time.
You don't do that.
I'm done. I'm telling you, Prince, I'm done. I'm telling you that Real Madrid doesn't play good football. What they do is
you don't use good football and win it.
So that means what about Alex Ferguson's
Manchester United?
Where they play good football?
Yeah, I will say yes. Ask me why. Because most of the time you see them holding the ball, dominating. But here in the case, Real Madrid, they will allow you. They will allow you hold the ball.
That's what you just agreed that Central African Republic they play good football, and that's what they were also doing. They were playing on a counter.
And you realize that anytime the Central African Republic guys had the ball,
yes,
we were at risk.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
They are scoring. But there were several times we went to their we wasted the time.
I agree with you now.
So
now I see
if you hold the ball and you're going around and it doesn't make any sense.
So we were trying to play beautiful football, but not good football.
It wasn't good.
then I agree with you.
It wasn't good.
It's
I
true.
agree with you.
Whenever they have the ball, you see that like there is something. They are coming
Nobody
to score.
needs beautiful football.
If you could remember, I told you
far.
afar. Look at the way these guys are holding the ball.
Once they launch that
Especially
that
they are
pass,
number 10.
he's going in. He's scoring.
Look how
He's scoring.
no.
Look at how he
Mamma mia.
was just misplacing our defenders and just scoring. You know, you have your tactics.
Yes.
You know their tactics.
Yes.
If you realize that their tactics is they are
change.
using their how do you call it? Their what's the name? Or their tactics is outwearing your tactics. You change your you
style.
don't allow them to be coming and be scoring those goals always. And almost the first 2 goals all were just the same.
The floating of the ball. And we had our defenders even crashing each other.
Can you imagine? That is what I'm talking about. At least if you are coming, one should wait. The other will tackle.
No,
if they lose the ball, then the other go. So that is
They
bad
are football lessons.
So they had
football.
they had their tactics spot on. They just had it right. Yeah, that one I agree with you. But for beautiful football, never. Let's get the win.
And I'm saying that beautiful football is not important when you cannot win.
Yeah.
It's not important. At the end of the day, what is important is playing good football and winning. If you are not playing good football, you cannot win.
But I think
if your passes are not
Sadik
going
Adams
through,
was
you
not
cannot
talking
win.
about what
Good football. Beautiful
He
football.
was trying to say that sometimes it's not about holding the ball too much to win the game. Sometimes it's
exactly. I think that was what Sadick was saying.
I'm sure that's what.
Yeah, me sir. Because
Sadik Adams
if you say Sadick was talking about beautiful, you know where beautiful football is entertaining.
Why I'm saying this? Why I'm saying this
Yes.
is that in the press conference, you remember Otoado said he can only promise Ghanaians good football.
Yes.
I don't know whether he said good football or beautiful football, but I think he
he
said
said
I
good
remember
football.
good football.
And then Sadik Adams made reference to that. So that's why I'm making my point. He made reference to
But
Otoado.
Prince, you also agree with me that people mistaking good football and for beautiful football.
Yeah.
Because to me, though I'm a fan of beautiful football, but then in a way, this Black Stars, we need good football, not beautiful football.
Yeah.
Because beautiful football,
and beautiful football doesn't really need any
beautiful football is where you are up.
As a good
When you
player,
are up 5-0.
But if you don't play good football, how do you get the beautiful football?
that's what the point I'm even making is that if you don't play good football, how are you going to win? Because if you cannot pass, if you cannot give accurate passes, how are you going to score?
Even the finishing.
Eben, so let me
How
ask
are
you
you
this
going to
question.
finish?
Well,
Prince, I want to ask
ball.
Eben. I want to ask Eben a
And the
question.
complainer of the pitch.
Eben,
They were all playing.
and let's go Madrid. Do they play good football?
They play very good football. They play very, very good
Guys,
football.
let's move on.
And they have done something even your Man City couldn't do all season, and they did it twice. They beat Real Madrid twice this season. They were
We
only
beat Real
two.
Madrid
Home and
twice.
away.
They beat Real Madrid
We
twice.
beat-
this season.
we beat
In the
Real
Copa del
Madrid.
Rey.
Big
In the
shout
Copa
out to
del
Sadik
Rey.
No, so
Adams.
they
And then
play good football or beautiful
They play very good
You said
football.
they did what?
They beat Real Madrid.
The game, if you forgot,
What
I'm just
did you do?
remembering, we
What
gave
did
you
you do?
2-1.
All right, guys.
When?
Guys,
When?
we have
Came to
a-
the
when?
to
We have a lot
Ramos
of-
had the
We are
card.
done.
That is
Zabata.
He said this
Zabata.
season.
You are
Last
talking
season.
about the
Last
past.
season.
I'm telling you, this season, currently,
No, you
the
didn't
only
mention
team
this.
that
He said
this
what?
season.
They
He
did
said
what?
this-
the
he
only
said
team this
they
season
did
that
what?
has beaten Real Madrid is Atletico Madrid.
So,
They did it twice.
Prince, let me also ask you.
Yeah.
So you also agree that let's go and they play good football.
Well,
It's so easy.
let's move on. with
I'm
our
surprised they didn't say
They play very good football.
They-
Let's
it's
move on
fine.
with our
It's
conversation.
all right.
And big shouts to Sadik Adams.
yes,
I mean,
yes.
we appreciate the work you are doing as a sports journalist. And to all the sports guys out there, I think the past few days has been a very busy time for all of us, it's exciting. I mean, we can only agree to disagree. And so let's look at Jordan's 100th cup. I mean, I don't know. What do you have to say about?
Oh,
Jordan?
it's a massive milestone.
Yeah.
Playing 100 times for your country
Yeah.
is not an easy thing.
Yeah.
And I see him. I don't know who is leading the cup. Who is the most cup player?
player.
But I believe that Jordan still has the potential
To
because
do
it doesn't
that.
look like he's
He's
stopping.
stopping
I still feel like
anytime,
he's
yeah.
still in his peak, or he has never peaked before. Well, he's still in his peak, and I still believe that there are still more matches to
matches
come, and
to
he has
it, yeah.
done really, really well. Especially, I think he jumped onto the stage at the age of 17, 18 there, and he has been a bit
Brilliant.
well. Yeah. He's especially holding of the ball, fantastic, and. Obi Zapata will say J9, yeah. So I really, so I congratulate him for that. It's a
J9.
massive milestone, and I see him going further and breaking the most cap player in the Black Stars. Yes.
Obi, your
Yeah,
man.
Senior J9.
Senior man.
Yes. We thank him for the hat trick because I was expecting more. If you remember our last podcast, I told you guys that I'm expecting the coach to start J9, which is
Fatah, as well as Fatah when he did that.
He did that.
He watched the podcast.
And
Otuado watched.
I'm sure
he likes you. I'm sure.
You could see that Fatah Isaku's impact brought the penalty and the other goals. And you see J9, fantastic. Fatah Odada says something now. When penalty, and when you put
stop
50,
laughing now.
when is penalty kick?
I just remembered something he did yesterday.
What did he-
Yesterday, when they were warming up, he saw Abdul Momen. He said,
We'll come to that.
now coach, please.
You remember I called him yesterday. We'll talk about that. We'll finish.
So Jana, we really appreciate him for like fighting for the nation,
amazing.
always being a warrior for the country.
Yeah.
We are very happy and we thank him and we wish him more goals, and good luck in his career.
Yes.
Charlie.
I think the most mentally fit or strong player in our squad is Jordan.
Wow.
Because no player has suffered so much abuse
Criticism.
from fans like Jordan. But then he even said it in the press conference after the match. He said it's his mentality that keeps him going, and he also believes in the work he puts in. So when the chance comes, then he gets it.
Yeah.
For 100 caps, he has done so well. Because honestly, international level, not so many players reach
Very
up to
true,
100 caps,
very
even in
true.
Europe, in European
Yes,
football.
yes.
So it's something that is really big and worth celebrating. And there was even a stat for us to enjoy. I think it was 10 years ago. It was 9. Yesterday was 10th. So it was 9th. June 2014, he scored his first hat trick.
Wow.
I think against Korea, and then this was 10th June 2024 that he actually got his another hat trick, his second hat trick for the Black Stars.
J9.
So that was a really big
So
milestone
the
for
next
him as
hat
well
trick
to
will be
celebrate.
when? In 10 years' time again.
I think maybe.
I think Jordan has been fantastic. Sometimes he, as I said earlier on, he would come out as not serious, and a lot of people would bash him for that. But sometimes it's like we also don't understand the style of football Jordan plays. In all, I think there's no player who has been perfect. Even yesterday, Otuado said it. Nobody's perfect, not even only the player. So I think for the good that he has done, he has been one of our, especially when it comes to penalties, that's one of the things I remember him so much
15
for.
out of 15. Jordan hasn't missed a career penalty.
That's amazing.
Champion.
And right now, anytime we have a penalty, I'm confident.
It's like our Kopama.
There's no
I'm
argument
confident.
when Ghana wins a penalty.
you.
There's no
Yeah,
argument.
yeah.
We all
He
know. I think
comes, he
Kudus
picks
was
it.
blocking the penalty
the penalty
spot.
spot for him.
So somebody asked, is Kudus going to take the penalty? And then Jordan came around and then picked the ball. So I think all in all, we just need to learn how to appreciate our players. In as much as we criticize them, when they're up for praises, we shouldn't. We should praise them because they are human. Sometimes we say some of these things and then you go back and you watch and then you feel bad for these players, because if somebody should criticize you the same way,
I think we'll get to that part, but then Kudus was now replying to some of the tweets comments.
But are you sure that is Kudus?
That's the official
Okay,
handle.
all right. So Charlie, we have to big up J9. He has been amazing,
J9.
and we wish him more opportunities, more goals, and more even in his career, his professional career. We wish him well and all the best.